Well, friends, in philosophy paper, particularly in theory paper, principal paper of education, we took many classes, and just to the last part, we discussed in our earlier classes. Where I left or where we left, today let us remember, and we left there, by discussing the concept definition or other areas of concern. We left to discuss about relation of education with various branches of study or disciplines. Friends, you know so much well that education is a process which has two aspects. One is productive aspect of education, another is the process aspect of education. And education is such a very important process with the help of which total transformation of human social life is possible. It is a process about which there are various definitions which we find and we have discussed so much well. And as a composite subject, education has relationship with different disciplines or different subjects about which we are to discuss today. Particularly the basic part is to be discussed within 10 or 7-8 minutes, and then thenceforth in the coming classes we are to discuss one by one the disciplines with which education has close link. Education, as you know, is a composite discipline. Means what? Made up of several parts or elements. It is such a discipline which is the composition of different branches of study or different disciplines like biology, philosophy, psychology, natural studies, or anthropology, environmental science, educational technology, etc. So friends, education in a sense, in simple way, a composite discipline, and by saying education as a composite discipline, we mean about all those disciplines, all those branches of study which have very close connectivity with the subject education. It has relationship with different disciplines. The scope of education, as we already have discussed in our earlier classes, is very extensive, very vast. There is not a single part of human life, there is not a single segment of human society where we do not see the presence of the influence of the process of education. And that's why the scope of education means the area of operation of the subject education is very extensive, is very large, or it is, in a sense, very vast. It has kept its area open more or less for all disciplines which are in operation for the dissemination, for the advancement of knowledge, or for imparting knowledge to the learners. Let us see the next slide. As a branch of normative science, means you came to know that education is a normative science. Education is a branch of normative science. And what does normative science mean? Normative science is such a science which has link in establishing or relating to or deriving from a standard or norm, specially of behavior. Means education is a normative science, and the concern of education is to determine the general standard of necessary behavioral pattern or patterns of the learners. And as a branch of normative science, it means education keeps close link with the important disciplines that have been offering their services for the welfare of human life transformation of human society, advancement of human culture, and development of human civilization, etc., by helping the process of expansion of knowledge continue as per the demand of life and change the time. Let us see the next slide. You see, as a branch of normative science, what is the concept you have found here? As a branch of normative science, education tries to determine the norms and goals as well as ideals for a democratic, peaceful, and progressive life. The concern of your life is you need life to live democratically. You need or you expect to live life in peace. You expect to achieve progress. And these are the three prime pillars of the aims of human life. And education has concern with all these pillars. Education keeps close link with various disciplines to perform own function in an orderly or systematic manner or way. We may draw a diagram to show some of the subjects or disciplines with which education has close link. Let us see some of the subjects we are to see. Let us see the next slide. See, education has link or it has relationship with biology, it has relationship with sociology, education has relationship with philosophy, education has relationship with economics, education has relationship with psychology, education has relationship with statistics, education has relationship with environmental science, education has relationship with most of the natural sciences, branches of natural science. Education has relationship with all the disciplines and subjects which are in operation for the development of knowledge parameter of human life. And that's why, friends, when you are to define education or explain education, you are bound to express that education is a normative science, and as a normative branch of normative science, it tries or it helps to give shape of human behavior as per the changing demand of human social order, and it helps to develop all parameters of human capabilities and qualities for making man proper human resource. And that's why education is bound to keep link with all the disciplines, all the subjects which are in operation, and that's why education is a composite discipline. And in the coming class, how education is linked or related, you see, to with biology, sociology, philosophy, economics, psychology, statistics, environmental science we are to discuss, so that your concept concerning to the scope of education, the area of operation of the process of education becomes much clear. So thank you so much for today. Simply we have helped here, we have discussed here how education is a composite discipline, how education is a normative science, and what types of relationships are there with other disciplines and other subject areas, particularly which are in operation of the process of education. So thank you so much.